Hello, and welcome to the Spark Question of the Week. And this is Danny Palacio, and I will be your host. So I hope that you enjoy. First, I want to say thank you. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, and mostly just listening. I hope that these questions and the podcast are adding value to your life and an opportunity to know yourself more so that you can discover your inner truth and live the life of your dreams. So, this week's question is: are you stressed? So, I want to explore what stressed is. And I think everyone will probably answer yes to that question. If you answer no, explore. I'm not encouraging you to overanalyze stress because that just creates more stress. But what I do want to share, and this is my personal perspective and experience, which is stress is a natural part of the human condition. When our souls decided to incarnate and become human and then create life and community and family, that inherently in this current world environment will include stress. And what I have noticed is that there are so many people offering opportunities to de-stress, reduce anxiety. There's other people on the scientific side explaining how stress is felt in the body and the various hormones and things that work inside of us that um, show us that we're stressed, and how to maybe mindfully and or supplemental wise, like herbs and vitamins, can reduce stress. And it's often linked to the cortisol levels, which are hormones that are secreted through your adrenals, that are the little cap on your kidney. And I know this because I had a huge amount of stress and anxiety in my life, to the point where I really had a hard time functioning, and I went on a short-term leave from my job, and I had to really sit with what is stressing me out. And I got a counselor, and I did all the things that people said to do, but ultimately I realized that it was my past experiences and traumas and perceptions and beliefs that were producing the stress. And so, with all that, I just want you to take a moment and, you know, stress is something that changes our behavior, changes our response systems, that doesn't enable us to live our truth, doesn't enable us to live from a place of delight and joy and connection. It is a cascade effect, right? Um, it can create negative health issues. It can mentally really create more self-criticism, and overall, it's not a life force giving experience. So we all will have stress. So I want you to try and shift your perspective and befriend stress. If you deny it or you reject it, it probably will only get worse. So if you can gently accept that you are stressed and that you will have stress in your life, that it is part of being human, then that brings compassion and understanding and acceptance. And those create opportunities to have more life force. And there are really, truly a gazillion ways to manage, quote unquote, manage your stress. And what I'm suggesting is do what you need to do, but first and foremost, accept that you are stressed. And it's not an excuse. Don't use it as, oh, I'm so stressed I can't fill in the blank, whatever that might be. But just that simple internal surrender of, oh, stress is within me. Stress is part of my existence. And the next step 2 is I have the wisdom and the natural birthright to figure out how to honor and reduce my stress naturally. Now, again, I mentioned that I went to counseling. I actually started an antidepressant to help kind of manage that anxiety, and I had to change my life. I had to look at how and why I was stressing, and was it external forces, and could I shift that? And then the internal self beliefs and the traumas and pain that were causing me to stress out. I did a lot of healing work on an energetic level, on a mental, psychological level, on a very practical food perspective level. Changed my diet, looked at some of the foods that my body was not in alignment with and that was causing additional stress. I also did supplements. I looked at how to support the adrenals, how to encourage my other hormone glands to maybe step up and balance out that cortisol. And then ultimately, it was a combination of all of that for me. Everyone will have their own solution. And I offer my experience to let you know that you're not alone, to let you know that it's okay. It's okay to have stress. It's okay to not feel what you desire to feel. Oftentimes we criticize ourselves, like I should have, I could have, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this. I shouldn't be experiencing this. Like this is all my fault. I made bad choices. Stop the blame game. Just stop the negative blame game. Tell that inner critic that's in your head that's putting you down or putting you in your place or telling you that you're not enough to shut up. Yep. I know that we don't like to use that word and we teach kids not to say that word, but internally, if you've got someone that's badgering you inside, telling you all these negative things, boom, shut the door, shut up, because it's a signal to your body and to your brain that it is not acceptable to have that many thoughts about yourself in a negative way. And lastly, I want to just encourage you to start to say positive things to yourself. I can handle this stress. I don't need to stress about this. I am strong and capable, and my body is brilliant. And we will figure out how to live in a way that has less stress. And then be willing. Like, this is big. You have to be willing to honor what comes up, the insights, the nudges, the feelings. Honor it and ask how you can shift. Doesn't mean you instantly have to. Like, I knew a long time ago that I needed to stop or reduce the amount of sugar I was eating. And I resisted that for a very, very long time. I still do at some level, but I'm more willing than ever to choose every day to just, to eat or not eat sugar. And what I mean by sugar is the desserts and the donuts and the chocolate and the candies and the even fast food. I try not to eat fast food anymore because it doesn't nourish me in the way that I want. It leaves me hollow and hungry. Like, it never satisfies what I am desiring. And so, are you stressed? If the answer is yes, I hope some of this new perspective and these questions will enable you to be more gentle, more compassionate, more self-loving than you have in the past. And remember, you're not alone. You're here in the world. You are a spirit in human form, and you are part of a collective energy. And there is opportunities for connection. And if you're feeling overwhelmed and alone and stressed, then I encourage you to reach out. I am an amazing support person, and I am happy to have a free consultation or work with you one-on-one. And I'm hoping that this podcast and these questions will give you some support in your daily life to know that lots of people are processing and evaluating and figuring out how to know who they are and live in that light. So thank you again for tuning in, and I wish you all the best. And take a nice big deep inhale, hold it for a few seconds, and then let it all go, because you have an opportunity to change your life.